Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Paper and Lace Princess, and today I've got a little colour video for you using my new Spectrum Noir pens. But look, before we started to colour with them, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown on these pens. It's purely just my opinion. I'm just sharing with you what I have learnt about them so far. I've only had them a couple of days and I've played with them a little bit, and the first thing I'd probably say to you is if you're going to compare them to a Copic, it's probably not a good comparison. It would be a bit unfair, I would think. Having said that though, they are a nice pen. I've been having a lot of fun with them, but they don't blend the same as your Copics do, and your colour range obviously is far less than what your Copics are, but they are a good cheaper alternative if you can't afford your Copics. And I guess it's like any art medium that you get, you really do need to use it and play with it and get to know what it can do for you and get to know what it won't do for you. And so I'm still really in that process, so it's a bit unfair for me to say anything further than that. One thing I have found though with them, if you are merging your colours together, like I like to do a lot, I like to mix my pinks and yellows or pinks and blues and let those colours fuse together. These struggle to do that a little bit, whether it's the pigment in them or the alcohol base, I'm not really sure. But if you were to lay down a little bit of your blender pen first, you will find that that makes it a lot easier for you to get that transition. So look, let's get started and have a little bit of fun with them. So I'm not sure how this is going to turn out because, as I said to you, I'm still getting very used to these pens. The piece I'm going to be working on today is a little Zia art piece. And I've got a little challenge happening over on my blog if you'd like to join in. It's a lot of fun and I've seen some beautiful work sent in. So this is only the second piece in the challenge. What we're doing is we're working through the alphabet using Zentangle patterns. And it can be a traditional Zentangle piece or it can be a Zia piece like I tend to do mostly. And the first one was we started off with using a pattern starting with a pattern starting with B, C and D. This one being the second, I've got a pattern starting with E, F, G and H and so on. We'll just work our way through the alphabet. And it is quite a good challenge because what I found is I'm actually using patterns that I would never normally use, so it's throwing me right out of my comfort zone and helping me to be a little bit more creative with my my Zia work. So if you'd like to join in, pop on over to the blog. The link is at the end of the video, and love to see your work there. Alright, so let's start with this little piece here. So as I was saying before, it really does help if you lay down a little bit of your blending fluid or blender pen first if you're going to be merging some colours together like I will be here on this little piece. So I'll get this piece here started and then I'll fast forward the video a little bit, make it a little bit quicker so you don't have to sit here and watch me colour the whole piece in. So there you go, I've got that laid down. Going to come in with some of my B. Now the lids are quite tight on these as well, so I like to get the colours that I'm going to be using and have the caps off ready. This is a light green. Hope you can see those there, and the yellow, citrus yellow. So there we go. So they're the colours I'm using here. So we'll start up here. Just lay down some of that yellow. They are very nice and juicy. There is a lot, nice lay down of colour when you first start using them. I might just put a little bit more of that blender on. They do dry very quickly, so probably if you're new to alcohol markers, I'd suggest working in smaller areas than what I'm doing here. I'm just flicking some of that green up into that yellow. Let them all melt in together. And I'm going to come in with some of this true blue colour here. Just gently flick that up. The other thing with blending colours I have found with these pens too is you do get a better result using your palette method, and that is simply just getting an acrylic block or an old CD like I use here and just scribbling on some of your colour. Excuse that squeaky sound, it's terrible, isn't it? And just grabbing one of your lighter colours and picking up some of that colour you've just laid down, coming back and blending, because what happens is you're getting a mid-tone. Okay, so I'm just going to come back with that green, try and blend that blue in a little bit more. And as I was saying, you do have to work at it a little bit more. If these were Copics, it'd be done, be all blended. And you do have to wait for the ink to dry to sort of see the finished piece too. So I'll start over this side. I'll actually lay down some of that blender just in the middle area here. And the cardstock I'm using is just a Copic Express It cardstock. So it's a blending cardstock for your alcohol markers. And you will find you'll get a better blend and a better look if your lines are not all even. They are a little jagged. Just flicking that yellow down into some of that green. And again, I'll just come back here, pick up some of that green I put down on the palette there before. It just does help those colours to merge in together a little bit. It's very important though when you're doing this sort of colour that you're working on a wet area. So you're not going to get your colours to blend if your ink has already dried. Okay, so we'll let that piece there dry as well. So you've got the gist of what I'm doing down here in this area here. So I'll continue on, I'll fast forward it, and I'll be back. Okay, so that's that piece there done. And I've just gone in, as you can see, with the PL1, so it's a light purple. Just going to put some of that blue colour I've used down here onto my blending palette and pick some of that up with the purple that I've used previously and just deepen down here. So you can see those two colours are actually blending together beautifully. But like I said before, the trick really is it must be wet, your the colour you're building up. And obviously they should be complementary colours, or colours within the same family. It's just a matter of playing around and seeing the different effects that you can come up with. Just a little bit more. Really build that up down there. I just put just a tiny bit on the tips of these little swirly bits. That pattern is Eddie. These little, it's quite a cute little pattern actually. Once again, need a little bit more of that blue. And why not go ahead and just do the same on these nice big swirly bits up here. Another thing I've noticed too, even though I am using a blending card, as I said earlier, this is the Copic Express It, these markers do tend to bleed still a little bit, so you do need to keep your eye on that. And I do have a piece of scrap paper under me, as you can see, and that's so that it will absorb any excess ink. So that piece of paper will draw down any excess and help that help it not to bleed. Because if the ink has nowhere to go, it's going to start spreading outwards. So I'm just going to come in here and tidy up those edges where it has snuck out. As you've seen probably before when I had the video going faster, that I did tidy up here as I was a bit rough and went outside the line. So okay, so let's let that continue to dry, and we will come up here and start on these little flowers. So I'm just going to use PP4, which is a pale pink 4, and just start flicking out. As you can see, this really isn't a detailed piece that I'm doing. It's just really slapping the colour down here. Okay, and let's try this colour here, which is, sorry, it's a BT4. Get some of that down. Let me just check what the colour is. Oh, I don't know, but anyway, let's do it. No, I don't like that at all. So I'll come in with my blender and just remove some of that. I think we need it to be bluer, like a, I might go back to this other one that we had before. That's a true blue, so let's get some of that down. That's much nicer. Because as we all know, that pink and blue make purple. So where these are intersecting, these colours are intersecting, we're getting that colour change. I'm just leaving that little petal there to dry a little bit more before I go over it with this new new blue that we've just made. So when you're just doing like colour work like this, as you can see, it's quite easy and it's not stressful at all. When it comes to doing some detailed work, it's when you might need to work a little bit harder at your blending. Just about used that up, so I'll get some more out. This is quite a nice mix, I must make a note of it. So it's the PP4 and the TB3. For those of you that like it as well. Okay. Just when you are using your lighter colours to do this sort of blending, just make sure before you recap your pen that you do just wipe off the tip, and that will just remove any of that second colour. So you've got a brand new, really clean tip on that, nib on that again now, which is what we want. Let's get some yellow centres happening up here. Okay, and now for this area here, grab my blender again. I'm actually going to use the big chisel edge because I want to lay down quite a bit of this blending fluid, and I'm doing this once again just to get that cardstock nice and wet. And it will lighten the colours I'm putting down now, but I will get a nicer blend in this larger area. It's just something I'm doing to play with. It's not the right way to do it or anything like that. I'm just simply sharing with you what I'm doing or what I like to do. But we'll see how these colours blend in here now nicely. Okay, so what I want for this one is that yellow and the green. So I'll get those ready. So it's a light green 3. And I think that's citrus, CT2. Okay, so quickly go in with that green while that's still nice and damp. Okay, we'll just keep moving along. Let's make those out of the way. I have to speed this up and get this bit done, and we'll be back. Okay, so here we're back with the finished piece. I've just gone ahead, I've just added a couple of little details with a little bit of Prismacolor pencil. I've just deepened up down in the corners here and I've just used a little bit of paler green and a paper stump and just highlighted, made, you know, just a few darker shadows in there, in the green area there. So that's all there is to it. Look, I hope this has helped you. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate in leaving a comment, and I will endeavour to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. So look guys, just one more thing. If you are in Australia, you're looking at where to purchase some Spectrum Noir pens, I've been getting mine from Craft Online, and they're a company up the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, and their prices are very, very comparable. In fact, I don't think you will find cheaper anywhere else within Australia. They stock a whole range of your Spectrum Noirs, as I just said. They stock the Copics and many, many other great crafting products. So, you know, if you're looking to where to get them, don't forget to look them up. They're craftonline.com. Alright, thank you very much once again for joining me with this little video, and I look forward to creating with you again very soon. Bye now.